Jackson Hole is here, and it will have a huge impact on what our financial markets will be doing, what interest rates will look like, and really how the overall economic future looks like, all because of this event. Now, I'm not saying that this event will be the controller of everything, because things can change really quick. But this event, this economic event where financial analysts, global leaders, everyone, economists from around the world will be at to speak and talk and discuss about what the current economic conditions are globally and here locally in the United States. Now, this event is hosted by the Federal Reserve. And if you know anything about the Federal Reserve, you know that Jerome Powell is fighting with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants cuts now. He posts about it all the time on Truth Social. He talks about it. There's even been videos where he's patting Jerome Powell in the back saying, I want you to cut rates. Come on, cut rates. Because it is time to cut rates. Now, Jerome Powell's on the fence because we have seen inflation tick up slightly. And by slightly, I mean by 0.1. Tiny amount. But that is okay because some of that is because of the tariffs. Tariffs have made things slightly more expensive. So inflation has slightly gone up. But this event with Jerome Powell speaking on Friday, August 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central is going to be amazing because it's really going to give us a forecast, a look ahead of what the markets are going to do. And if we know if the prices that we are seeing right now, the pullbacks that we are seeing right now, if the price is caked in because we might not get a federal rate cut in September. But if there is good news, then we can see Jerome Powell talk and not be as hawkish. Then we might see the market start actually ticking up even more because we will be expecting a rate cut come September or October. Now, this event is not crypto specific. This event is not stock market specific, but we will get to see what happens because if there are rate cuts, if Jerome Powell talks about how he thinks that the Fed are going to lower interest rates soon, that frees up liquidity. That frees up money because it is cheaper to borrow, so then markets will actually start going up. If he is hawkish and he starts talking about how rate cuts, he does not see them anytime soon because he is on the fence and does not want to cut rates too early, then we might start seeing the markets pull back even further than what they currently are. Now, there's other news, and if you want to know other news, there's going to be a video right here. Click on this video because there's going to be more in depth on why the markets, especially crypto, has actually started bumping up in the last day. And that is a super important video too, so go watch this after you finish this video. But basically, this could affect all markets, especially risk assets like cryptocurrencies. Now, some other things on the agenda are they're going to talk about tariffs and the impacts the tariffs are having. They're going to talk about the mixed economic data, how the job report has come out and it's actually better than what it was before. Specifically, when job reports go up and we have higher unemployment, that means that the rates need to get cut so that jobs and companies specifically can hire more people to grow. So that is an economic data point that we're going to be looking at. And then delayed inflation, because Jerome Powell thinks that we are in a delayed inflation and that we could be headed towards a bigger inflation like we were last year. Now, why this is important is because high sensitivity to Fed policy. The markets absolutely move. It is super volatile. The history of the Jackson Hole event, you can go and do trades right now on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time or 9 a.m. Central, and you could either make or lose money because the markets will move drastically. This has a history where Jerome Powell speaks and the markets will move. Now, crypto thrives on liquidity. So like I said, if a rate cut is there, if Jerome Powell talks about a rate cut here in the near future, we can see these markets absolutely explode and really kick off the bull cycle, because then people will start buying in knowing that the rate cuts are coming in September. So that could mean that it is actually a good time to buy now before the rate cut gets caked in and people sell later. Now, all of this is my speculation. This is all my opinion. So you need to do your own research. But I'm just saying the Jackson Hole event is here. Jerome Powell is speaking August 22nd in Wyoming. And that speech will have drastic impacts on what our financial markets will do and what the outlook in the future looks like. So make sure you are staying tuned in on Friday to make sure you know and you are aware of why we're either going to have a pullback or the markets are going to actually have a big gain on Friday. If you like future content like this, where you're staying up to date on the news and you want to know events that are coming that could shape your trades, your investments, and your money, hit that subscribe button. I do all things personal finance, credit cards, I do crypto, I do stocks, I do investing, I do budgeting, I do all things. So down below in the comment section, let me know, are you going to be watching on Friday? And do you think Jerome Powell will be hawkish, so bearish, or do you think he will be bullish, sensing and actually hinting at rate cuts in the near future? I'm Curtis Ryland, and until next time, remember, you can do all things through him that give you strength. Peace.